The announcement of Sonic X Shadow Generations warranted quite a few raised eyebrows. One, because of Sonic Team's muddy history of remasters, and two, because of the Sonic Generations modern community sized elephant in the room. Though as we got more footage displaying Shadow's new abilities, even some boss fights, and eventually fully animated promotional material for the game, just like for Frontiers and Colors Ultimate, they really have been pushing that in recent times, haven't they? We as fans were reinvigorated and ready to give it a chance. The sheer care and attention they were putting into marketing was clear, and actually got a majority of people excited for its release. I wasn't as inclined to get it as much as others, even with all the additions and bonuses that came with it. As much as it piqued my interest, the fact that the PC version was available with mod support stowed my hand a bit. Though in the end, after seeing how much people were enjoying it, I gave it a shot, and I think that was for the better that I played it. But anyways, let's get into it. Shadow, as you'd expect, doesn't deviate in terms of controls too much. When I first saw gameplay footage, I kind of got the impression that he would handle a little bit differently. I think it was his homing attack that made me think that. The only thing I can know is that he feels a bit looser and less rigid than modern Sonic in regular generations. And I've noticed that his boost is slower too, though with the level design accommodating for this, and his chaos control allowing you to stop time for a bit in stages, it's not too much of a downgrade. Chaos control doesn't require too much to activate either, you can charge up just by defeating a few enemies. And when you're aiming for S ranks and challenges, it really is a lifesaver. Speaking of lives, Shadow has none to speak of, nor any to collect. It kind of surprised me at first, but the convenience and relief of not having to worry about that is much appreciated, especially in later stages when trying to get higher ranks, and in case you mess up in stages or challenges when aiming for a certain time. You can just pause and retry at any given point. Shadow's campaign is shorter overall compared to base generations, even with all acts and challenges considered, but the level design more than makes up for the shorter length. I was pleased to find so many alternate pathways, and surprised by how some were hidden in plain sight, like this one at the beginning of Radical Highway Act 2. It left me kicking myself for not noticing sooner. Interestingly enough, though, before the game came out, people were worried because of Sunset Ice's presence from Sonic Forces making an appearance in this game due to the lackluster level design from its original game's incarnation. I was actually kind of interested to see how they'd adapt the stage, and I'm happy to say they did a great job. The set pieces for Forces stages were another criticism the game got, and the few that people found truly interesting were hindered by the aforementioned level design issues and on the rails gameplay, both of which are a non issue in this game. Just like in regular generations, the hub world hosts challenges and hidden secrets to unveil. The main ones are the blue, yellow, and green chests that, when bearing the appropriate collection key, will unlock music from previous games where Shadow was prevalent in some way, entries for Jared Robotnik's journal, and art, both concept and official. I found these really cool, especially the ones for Shadow's Bay designs. One of them kind of reminded me of the Werehog, oddly enough. I'm not really sure why, I guess it was the end of the quills that brought it to mind. The challenges you complete within the hub world itself also offer rewards for completion as well, so don't hesitate to give them a shot. The Doom powers were the hook that actually got the ball rolling for Sonic X Shadow Generations during the promotional period. They're sparingly applied in stages and aren't too gimmicky or intrusive to the level design for the most part. The only one of the powers I found a bit troublesome was with the Doom Morph ability. I don't know how to put it, but it was annoyingly technical, and the learning curve for it was a bit more involved than I would have liked it to be, though with that said, I have gotten the hang of using it now, and it's not too bad to handle. And the mileage you can gain when you get good at using it is fantastic, though it's still my least favourite of Shadow's new set of tools. Sonic X Shadow Generations, at least in terms of adding to the main content from the original release from 2011, is a bit bare. Both classic and modern Sonic now have a drop dash that you can't turn off, and there's no rewritten dialogue for the story scenes. From what I heard before I bought the game, and from what I actually played myself, I didn't feel compelled to actually finish it once more, despite my fondness for the original game. Though, even with that said, I'm amazed that Sonic Team managed to give this game its own unique and memorable experience, making it stand on its own. And to have it do this while ridding itself of previous stigmas is extremely impressive in my opinion. I'm glad this was well received, and I hope they continue listening to their fans' feedback and criticisms. Being completely honest, though, I would recommend just getting your hands on a physical release of the original generations if you don't already own one, and playing through that instead as your first experience. For the price you can get at nowadays, it's more than worth it. But, anyways, thank you for listening.